Okay, story time. So one of the first makeovers that I ever did when I moved into this house was the dining nook. I'm sure you guys remember it. It's kind of iconic. I love that space so much. But if you didn't see, since then I have switched out the sofa that made up the booth part of the nook for something that suited like the dining purposes a little better, something a little sturdier. What I didn't expect was the amount of people that were really invested in the orange striped sofa. I received so many comments asking, did you keep the couch? What did you do with the couch? Please tell me you still have the couch. And yeah, I still got it, guys. That was $50, one of my best marketplace steals ever. And it's just too iconic. The fact that it's orange striped from the 60s and I'm only the second owner of it ever. I could never part with her. Now, as for where it is right now and what I'm actually doing with it, well, we're gonna talk about that. So let's get started. Welcome back to the series where I challenge myself to use thrifted materials and a love of all things retro to DIY our family home from this farmhouse to that 70s house. And thank you to ThredUp for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so after I removed these sofas from the dining nook over there, I placed them here, literally just because this was a free open space where they could sit while I figured out their next move, because they weren't supposed to live here long term. This was supposed to be temporary, especially because our main living room is literally right over there. It's right there, and you are sitting right here. But as these sofas sat here just chilling in the meantime, something funny happened, and that is that when we had friends over, they would gravitate to hanging out here instead of over there. And I don't know, I started thinking about it, and I think I have an idea. The theory is that this area operates a lot like an old school conversation pit in the fact that there is no technology that this is centered around. Unlike a traditional living room of today, we're not all facing a TV. Instead, we're facing each other. I can hear the comments now. This is a sitting room. My parents have one of these. I thought we were getting rid of these. I don't know, I think our parents were actually onto something all along. Now, it's super possible that I'm just wishful thinking this place to feel like a conversation pit because I just truly want a conversation pit in my house very badly. And if I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. But either way, I do feel like this space has actual potential and I want to make it into something more, because right now it's just two couches floating on the ground and it's not doing it justice. So I have some thoughts. Let's start with what's not actually working. First being is that these sofas are meant to sit in an L-shaped pattern. That pattern doesn't work here, and in fact I like that they're kind of facing each other. But the problem is that now they both have an open exposed end, meaning there's nothing holding this cushion on. So if you sit on this for more than a second and you move at all, the cushion does this. And this one often just does that, which is not great. So I've got the iPad here and a picture of the end of the sofas. And what I think I'm gonna do is try and DIY myself an arm for these sofas. This is such a specific project that I don't know if this has ever been done before, but I will take my prize as the first person to do this. I think that with the right design and kind of a mid-century vibe to the arm, I can make this look pretty convincing, like these sofas were meant to be a matching pair with one asymmetrical wooden arm. You'd believe it if I told it to you in a convincing enough voice, right? Okay, I'm gonna spend the next little bit mocking up some different ideas for what different ends to these sofas could look like, and I will check back in with you in a minute. All right, let me talk you through what I've come up with. So my first idea was kind of this triangular shape. It's funky. Then I moved on to a bigger square shape because I felt like the first idea was too tiny. I think this isn't bad. I think it mimics the shape of the other side, which is good. Then I tried out a more simplistic idea of just a simple arm with a support. Didn't love this one. Then I went ultra classic mid-century modern with a shape that kind of looks like this with a flat arm, but again, I don't like it. It's too different from the sofa. Then, I don't know. my ideas were thinning and I thought, let's just go a little wild with this. I think this is sweet, but I do think it's competing with the sofa to be the focal moment, and I still want the focal moment to be the sofa, not really the arm. And then lastly, I ended up with something like this. It's similar to the rectangle shape that I liked, but we eliminated one side because I didn't need it. And I think it's kind of fun. Okay, so I took some time and I made, I guess what you could call a prototype of what I think this could look like. And this is what I've come up with. Do you see where I was going with this vision here? Now it's not bad and it's exactly what I was imagining, but seeing it in this space, I just don't know if it's necessary to achieve what we're really trying to go for, which is just to hold this cushion tight in place. I don't know if you really need this arm support here. In fact, I actually think it's kind of nice that someone could sit off the edge here and have their feet go this way without an arm being in the way. So after all of that, I've come up with a new, different idea that I think is gonna work better. And of course, I have an example here to show you. Something like this. Now, of course, I would need to cut this shorter. Now what it does is achieve the purpose of holding this bottom cushion tight in place without actually having an arm in the way at all. And I still think the shape is kind of retro and funky. I even mocked up what this could look like here in a new photo, and I dig it. I dig it. So I think I'm gonna make it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the hardware store now to get the pieces of wood to make the real arms, since I think I kind of know what design I want to go with. Now, typically when I make wood projects, I usually use pine because it's super affordable and it's really easy to work with, very forgiving. But since I'm making something that's a little smaller and it's going on a sofa that I really care about, I think I'm gonna splurge for the nicer wood. Whatever nice wood Home Depot has, but I know they have options that are a little more expensive than pine, so let's see. Okay, going off of like a 1x6x6, which I think I might need. Oak is the most expensive at $48, followed by poplar at $39, but compared to the oak, the poplar definitely has more of a green tint. And then there's this, which I've never actually noticed before. It's basswood. For a 1x6x8, which is more wood, it's only $30. But I wonder if that's gonna dent as easily as pine does. And then literally just for science, a 1x6x6 of the pine that I normally use is like $17. So that's definitely your most affordable option. Is it gonna be the most durable for the arm of a sofa? I don't think so. So for today, I think I'm gonna splurge and go with the oak, since I'll only need one piece to do both sofas. And then I'm also gonna pick up some of these, which are in a matching oak wood. I think I'm gonna need these to cover my screw holes. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm back at home and I'm cutting out my pieces of wood at an angle that matches the angle of the sofa. To avoid seeing the screws where the two pieces are going to meet, I'm drilling in some pocket holes. Each end piece is made up of two pieces of wood that join together like this. I'm attaching them together with wood glue and pocket hole screws. We will, however, have to see some screws where I'll be drilling the arm directly into the sofa, so I'm drilling out where those will go as well. Then I'm staining and sealing both pieces. Wow, that's actually so pretty. I am now operating off the assumption that the frame of this sofa is made of wood. And I really hope I'm not wrong. But the idea is that this is gonna screw in and hold everything nicely in place. Fingers crossed. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I have to use my feet. It's super weird, but I'm just a single person here today. Wow, that felt solid. Okay, I think this is gonna work. Putting the dogs away, they are no longer needed. I apologize. Oh, that is so secure. And then remember these little caps that I picked up at the hardware store also? Well, this is their purpose. They should cap these little screw holes nicely. Okay, a small project that has literally taken me the entire day, but it looks so good and I'm really proud of it, and we can catch up tomorrow, but I need to go for the night because I'm so tired. But I'm so happy that I think it worked. See you tomorrow. Hello, good morning. Okay, quick check-in because I just wanted to show you again and confirm that this does work. Do you see? I'm like pulling on this cushion here and it's solid. It's not going anywhere, which is so good. And I made another one for the other side at the same time. So they both have their end pieces now. Hello, Daniel, are you coming to join me? Okay, so that's done. These are both working excellently, but we are still far from having an actual finished space here. There's a few key things that are still missing. Let's talk about it. So what I really think is missing from this space is something that defines it as its own area. This is something that's super important if you also have an open concept area and you want to create different zones. You need something that defines it as its own zone. And like most of the time, the answer to that is a rug. And there isn't one here yet. I actually already own what I think is going to be the perfect, really shaggy mid-century rug for this space, but I've had it for a while. Had it in my last house too, and it's not in great shape. So the other day I rolled it up and I dropped it off at a rug cleaning place, and I'm hoping they can restore it because it is a beautiful rug and we are losing Danny. And I already owned it, so I'd love to be able to use that again instead of having to buy something new. And then to go on top of that rug, the other big piece of this puzzle is some sort of coffee table between the two sofas. I think that's really what's missing here. So I'm adding that to my list because today I want to go out thrifting for some fun pieces, coffee table being one of them. Second thing I want to look for actually is to complete like a design project. I don't even know what you'd call this. It's not a DIY, it's just a design idea that I've wanted to try out for a while. And that is putting a piece of art in a bookshelf. I'm gonna insert some photos here if you don't know what I'm talking about. I just think it's cool. And as you probably know, I have this really large wall shelf and the shelves are modular. I've currently taken everything off because it needs a good restyling, but I think before I do that, I'm going to move the shelves around to clear up a spot that would be good for a piece of art because I just wanna try that. I think it'll be fun. So we'll look for some fun art while we're out today. I think a piece of art could go here really nicely. This is almost a square also, so maybe like a square piece of art, but I think this is a good space for it. Speaking of thrifting, this is the perfect time for me to tell you about today's sponsor and longtime friend of the channel, ThredUp. If you haven't heard of ThredUp, ThredUp is the largest online clothing thrift store, and it is my personal favorite way to shop for my clothing. It is so easy to narrow down exactly what you're looking for on ThredUp because you can choose your sizing, you can choose the color you're looking for, you can choose the rise of your pants and the length of your pants, which is so key for me because I pretty much exclusively wear high-rise pants. And the fact that you can sort high-rise only it's so good. Plus, there's that amazing benefit of knowing that you're shopping secondhand, which is one of the best things that you can do for the planet. Okay, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite pieces that I've gotten recently from ThredUp while we get ready to go out for the day. Okay, this is option number one for today, and let's start with the pants because these are so fun. They're half blue, half white denim, and the best part about these was really the price. They're by the brand Blue Revival, estimated to retail for $127, and I got them on ThredUp for only $27. Pretty good, pretty good. Now, okay, at the top, not normally something that I would go for, but I loved it because it was cropped. I wear so many high-waisted things that I feel like a cropped shirt is really what complements them. I don't know. Something about this I kinda dig. It's Steve Madden, estimated to retail for $54, and I got it for only $19.99. For that price, it was worth seeing if I liked it, and I do. I think it's really fun. I have one other shirt option for this outfit that is like a little more me. Maybe it's the safer choice. Okay, other option for this outfit could be a top like this. This is by the brand Banana Republic, and it's that perfect boho flowy shirt that I love so much, and it's great for right now when we're heading into fall because it is longer sleeves, but still like light and flowy. And I really like this, but I do have one entirely different outfit that I think we should explore too. Okay, this is the option for outfit number 2, and we need to talk about these pants because these are my favorite thing I think I've ever gotten from ThredUp. They are like a cargo pant style, which is quickly becoming my favorite thing because they're often high-waisted, but they're super lightweight and like easy to work in, which if you see the kind of stuff I do around my house, movement is key in my life. Plus these just look so stylish. I don't know what it is, but the deal I got on these. These are by the brand Gentle Herd, and they are estimated to retail for $306, and I got them for $79.99, so that's a crazy good steal for what I'm assuming are some kind of designer pants. Then on top, I just have this simple white tank from the brand Black Halo, but I have one more thing I think I'm gonna throw on to make this a little more fun, and that is this blouse from the brand Bowden. I love me a yellow and white stripe. And I think it just brings a little something else to this outfit, which I think I like. Here's option 2, completed. Okay, given the fact that today is probably gonna be a longer day of thrifting for all the decor pieces for this space, I think I'm gonna go with this outfit. But let me know, did you like option 1, option 1.5, or option 2 the best? And if you liked any of the specific pieces I showed you today, you can actually shop similar styles to them on ThredUp if you go to my personalized link, which will be in the description below. And when you do that, make sure you use our code TheSorryGirls. This is gonna get you 40% off your first order. That is huge. That is exciting. Okay, I'm ready to go. Shall we go? Let's go. Okay, I am back, and the thrift gods were on my side today because I think I found the most perfect piece of art to hang in the middle of my bookshelf. It is this amazing orange to yellow gradient with a deliberate strike through it. I don't know this artist, maybe someone else does. The name is Timoshenko on the bottom. The piece is titled Broken Silence, which I guess I see it. I see it. And it's dated 75, which is right on theme for this house. So I say we get it hung. I did also lower this book display shelf a little bit because finding a square piece of art was a lot harder than I thought. But with the shelf lowered, this rectangle piece is gonna fit in there so well. Okay, unfortunately there's one big stud in the middle and not two spaced here and here, which would have been ideal. So I'm just gonna try and get 2 nails on the one stud. The frame's not that heavy, but I don't want it to wobble. So we're gonna go with that. It looks so good. You would think these shelves were built to fit this piece of art. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, that's not the only good thing because I got something else to show you. So I wasn't having the most luck finding a cool coffee table at the antique mall, so I do what I do. I went on Marketplace to see what was near me, and I found this listing right here. I think it's the perfect blend of like statement, but also not competing with the sofas, which has been tough. And I picked it up on my way home, so let me show you. Okay. Now remember, we're still missing a really fun white shaggy rug to go underneath all of this, which is hopefully gonna be finished tomorrow. But either way, she's stunning. She's a replica of a old Noguchi design, which I do love him as a designer. His pieces are quite expensive, so I'm okay with this replica beauty. And I think the white actually is really nice because there's a point in which I have too much wood. I don't know if I'm reaching that yet, but I do like that the white's breaking this up a bit. Okay, I think I've come to a good spot for today. We've made some serious progress. This looks so good, and this is so good. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, so there's been one thing this whole time that's actually really been bothering me, and it's probably gone over your heads. That's such a good joke because it's literally about this light that's been probably out of frame most of this time. I'll go home now. Actually, I am home. Okay, I need to settle. The coffee's hitting hard this morning. Let's talk about this, okay? So we see this light here, right? Vibe-wise, it's cool, but it just doesn't hang in the center of this new zone that I'm creating. And that's a problem for me because it looks off. So I think the solve here is to get a different kind of light. Even though this is very cute, it's not gonna work because I need a swaggy type pendant light that can go from the hook up there to the center of the ceiling somewhere over here, and then go from a hook down so it can hang above the coffee table. Now here is where things get a little questionable. And this is the least confident I've ever been on a DIY project. But I feel like I have to try it, whether it works or not, so we're gonna try it together. I have this giant globe pendant. It's actually the same one that's in my dining nook, but except it's the clear plastic version. And the one thing I don't love about this is that it's clear so you can see the light bulb in it, which is just not that nice to look at. So in my dream world, this pendant is actually a milk glass pendant. So it diffuses the light nicely and it's like a big white globe. But it's not. So we're gonna try and DIY it to look that way. So this is gonna involve a lot of paint and it's gonna be messy, and I don't know if I can come back from this once I've started. But we're gonna try it. Okay. I've done a little bit of research on this, and frankly, there hasn't been much information on the internet on how to do this. I found one video tutorial on YouTube that was good, but I think I'm gonna try a slightly different method based on the materials that I have. The idea is that I'm gonna mix up a liquidy paint mixture that I'm gonna pour into the globe, spin it around until it fully coats the globe, and let it dry. How are we actually gonna do this? Well, I'm gonna use wall paint because I have a lot of this white color. It's what I've used in my whole house. And then wall paint is a little thick, so to make it runny enough that it covers the whole thing, I'm gonna use this. This is called Floetrol, and it's what you add to paint if you're gonna run it through like a spray gun, or you want your paint to just be runnier. It also eliminates brush strokes. So what I'm gonna do in a carton that I got from my recycling is mix up a batch of 50% paint, 50% Floetrol based on weight. I have a little scale here that's gonna help me do that, and stir it up real good, and then we can attempt to pour it into the globe. So once my paint had been fully mixed, I poured it into the globe and then slowly began to rotate it until the entire inside was coated with a layer of paint. I then tipped it fully upside down to let any excess paint drip out. So I've been flipping this thing upside down, right side up, maybe every 10 minutes on and off, because I really don't want the paint to either pool up in the bottom and have like a really dark patch, or alternatively, I don't want it to all drip away from the top and there's like this bald spot. Okay, morning. It's pendant day, so it's been drying overnight. It looks good to go. Last night I took down the old chandelier and I put up the new like hardware so that the shade is ready to go up. I honestly think all that's left to do is see if it worked. I gotta say, on the outside, it looks really good. Like, you would not know that this was not milk glass. How it looks lit up is gonna be another question we're gonna find out right now, okay? Oh. You know, wow. It's kind of like giving Planet though. Like moon vibes, very much surface of the moon vibes. That's crazy how different it looks, look. Milk glass. Jupiter! I almost wonder, like, imagine if I could get some acrylic and do like Saturn rings or something to really lean into the fact that this is looking so much like a planet. I could be convinced. I could convince myself. I gotta get Austin's opinion and see what he thinks. Austin? you watched me struggle with this for so long. I don't know if it turned out. It looks like this.
It's something.
What does that mean?
Looks like a planet.
That's what I was thinking. That's literally what I was thinking.
You should put like a ring around it so it looks like juniper.
Stop it. Wait, no, because we didn't rehearse this and that's literally what I was thinking. Wait, are you serious?
Pretty cool stuff.
Wait. So I don't really know where we go from here other than to say I'm gonna leave it. I think it's cool. It's certainly not what I was going for, and if you are trying to achieve perfectly seamless milk glass for a light shade that you can light up, because that's been the hardest part, I don't know if you should follow my methods because it got me somewhere close, but not perfect by any means. And if you've got any ideas on how I could have done this better, please leave them in the comments below because this one has truly stumped me. But regardless, we're gonna roll with it because I think it's cool. I love the planet vibe. I actually really do. And I just wanna say, not that I need validation in any way because I do like it, but I did find this Murano glass pendant light on First Dibs retailing for over $1,200 that has a drippy interior pattern as well. So that's worth $1,200. Mine's gotta be freaking priceless because it's one of a kind, baby. Listen, friends, this is what we say to ourselves in times like these. It's an art project, okay? Picasso, I like it. Okay, moving on, good news. My rug came back this morning. I haven't opened it. So let's do that together and pull this space together.
The way that I do it so good. Look at the way that I do what I should. Look at the way that I answer the call. Look at the way that I handle the line.
Space is looking so good. A lot of the things on this shelf have been collected over time, either from Marketplace, antique malls, or made by independent artists. But if you'd like any more information about anything you're seeing specifically, leave it in the comments and I'll try and get back to you. One thing I do want to know from you though in the comments is what do you think about the planet light? And do you think I should go ahead with trying to DIY some rings for it so it can truly look like Saturn? And if we think yes, there'll probably be a follow-up. So make sure you're subscribed. And lastly, make sure you shop my picks on ThredUp using the link below in the description, and please use the code TheSorryGirls because that's gonna get you 40% off your first order. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. This is a giant yellow clear orb pendant light that's gonna go up here, and it just gives me the biggest, like, this is a giant sun hanging in this corner, and if you don't sit here and feel happy vibes, I don't know what else I could do.